Welcome to the channel again, and today we have part 2 with Nathaniel, aka Nate, aka Sacco, Mr. Sack. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you.
All right, let's get into the interview.
So the first question, Nate, can you walk us through the anatomy of a trick scooter, and do you do your own scooter maintenance? So the focus of this question is product knowledge, scooter components, and performance optimization.
I mean, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm not one of those people that knows all the parts and stuff. I know the parts I'm riding. My knowledge is pretty limited. I am big into native though. I know all the native parts pretty well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do all my own scooter maintenance. I put all my own grip part. Yeah, I ride parts I don't usually break many things, so I kind of stay with the same parts for a while.
Yep.
It's pretty good, honestly. I break wheels a lot though. That's the thing I mainly break. I think that's just from riding.
Yeah, that's from throwing down, bro. That's from throwing down.
You know it, bro. You know it.
In your opinion, what type of deck geometry do you believe works the best in trick scootering, and why? So the focus is knowledge of deck design and its impact on performance.
As far as decks go, I would say 84 head-to-degree tube angle is one of the most important things that has happened in a while for not park riding. Because I've ridden both, and dude, 84 degrees feels so much better. And obviously, I like my box decks. I think box decks should be the standard for scootering from now on. I don't really see any point in not riding a box deck anymore. But you know how there's the two deck designs? There's the Ethic, and then there's the other one that's tilt and native and stuff.
Yeah.
I like the tilt and native one. I think foot space is very important, and I don't like when decks don't maximize the foot space. Because I like to put my feet at the very front and very back most of the time. I like to have as much space as I can with the smallest deck size that I can. So I like to ride a 23, but it has the room of almost a 24 of a Ethic or something. And I think it's important. I scoot my fender all the way against my wheel, and it just feels so good. If you're listening, guys out there, spread your feet out. It feels good. It's a good way to ride. It makes you look like you know what you're doing too.
Gives you a bit more stage, yeah. I was just thinking that.
Exactly. One more thing in that.
Yeah.
I like companies out there do what Native did and put more room in between the head tube and the blunt plate. Because trying to do blunts on anything else is so hard. Blunts are already hard enough. I reckon it's very important that scooter companies start to realize that. Help us out. Give us some blunt room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were to one day have a SIG deck, how would you approach designing the scooter that can withstand extreme tricks while remaining lightweight, or is weight not an issue for yourself? So the focus is material science, engineering principles, and balancing durability with the weight.
Well, I would say, first of all, I think deck cutouts in the bottom are a good idea. Because most of the time, you don't really even notice that kind of thing. I've ridden flat bottom, and decks with cutouts, and you really don't notice it. So I think that's a good way to save some weight. And I keep going back to this because I love Native so much, but I like how they've made the head tube where it connects to the deck. They made it really wide, so there's way more welds. I think that's a really good idea, and I don't know why more people haven't figured that out. Because obviously, the welds are the weakest part. So if you have more of them, they're going to be stronger than if you have less of them. If you know what I mean,
Yep.
Less surface area. I mean, more surface area to spread the impact over. So I would say that if I was going to have a SIG deck, it would be a design like that, and with the least cutout on the bottom, no cutout on the front of the head tube though. I like when the head tube is sealed off. So when you're riding street, if you know, you get dust inside there. It doesn't feel very nice. And I think that weight is something that people really harp on way too much. Weight is not as big of a deal as you think, within reason. I rode a cargo, and that thing was pretty heavy, and it made it a little bit hard. I couldn't finger it flat on that because it was 2.3 kilos. But within reason. We don't need to be cutting out structural components to make our decks lighter. You guys out there, you got the muscle for it, Just gotta try it a bit longer, I reckon, because it feels good when you land something with a deck that's actually solid. Like there's nothing better than that feeling. So I would say for my future signature, it would be a pretty solid but not overly engineered deck and not too thick. Like I don't know if you know what I mean by that, but like
Simplistic, Nate, you reckon?
yeah, I like to keep it simple, you know.
Yep.
I do quite like what Tilt does with theirs, where pretty much everything is non-removable. I do like if the fender could be changed, but you know, I do respect that design that they've got going on because I've seen people with their Epic decks. The back of those things are so confusing, man. Like, what's the point? That's just unnecessary. I feel like people don't want to be putting together a puzzle before the session.
Are you
Wanted
ready?
to get some tilt decks. They offer like a removable fender on the selects, and I think on the
Yeah,
the stage 1 has a break.
yeah. I almost got one of those. I'm pretty sure, like back in the day before I got a cargo. But you know, I ended up going with Native. Got to support the Australian-owned business.
Shout out Native.
Yeah, shout out Native.
What kind of bearings, wheels, and grips do you think are best suited for high performance trick scootering, and what do you prefer? So the focus is understanding of different scooter parts and their influence on performance.
Dude, I wish more scooter companies would actually pay attention to the bearings they're putting in their wheels, because that's the first thing that goes in my scooter every time. I always blow the wheel bearings out. I don't really know what good bearings are, but whatever ones they're putting in wheels are not good enough because they break way too fast. But grips, I think honestly any grips are good. I think having like grips not be all the same is quite important because everyone's different, you know. Like I get sweaty hands, so I need grips that are a bit more sticky. Some people don't get sweaty hands. So I think grips companies are doing good. They just need to make them longer. I don't know why grips are so like short still. I feel like people were starting to understand that you need longer grips and then it kind of stopped happening. But, you know, that's also preference. I guess some people like that. I think people in Russia, they like the shorter grips. Yeah, I wish I knew more about bearings. I should probably look into that a little bit more because I got a lot of wheels that need new bearings that are still rideable, you know?
I low-key want to recommend you. It's like $10, $11. I don't know what it would be Australian, but it's like American, $10, $11. If you go on River Wheel Co., they have a pack of 4 if you want to get them for $11. I heard their flash flood bearing.
Oh yeah,
they're called flash floods. I heard they're really really good. So if you want to give some bearings a try, you should try those. They're relatively cheap. I don't know if they'll be more expensive.
All right.
Over there, they should have River stuff.
Yeah, dude.
I ride them.
Shout
I pop them in.
Yeah, I'll have a look
with the temps.
All right, guys. I think I'll look into that because you ride your wheels for like 2 weeks and then they're not fresh anymore. It's not fun.
When considering upgrades for your scooter, which parts do you think provide the most noticeable improvement in performance, and what do you prefer to ride? The focus is practical understanding of scootering modifications.
I don't often like change my parts. I would say I kind of ride the same thing. Like I've been riding the same grips for like 3 years, not the same ones, but like I just swap them out whenever they start to get old. And I would say getting a new set of wheels is like so good. It really does feel good. I'm like, I know I keep bringing back the wheels, but guys, I break a pair of wheels like every couple of weeks. It's annoying. So like that first like session on wheels is always so nice. And obviously, you know, new deck. My last Native Ventura, I like cracked the front so bad that it was like sagging when I would land.
Yeah.
And when I got a new one, I was like, oh wait, wow, that feels like solid finally. But yeah, I've had the same bars for like 3 years as well. Shout out to Sentries. They like never break.
Let's go, Tim.
Yeah, I ain't much of a part swapper, you know. I kind of ride my stuff until it's dusted.
Yeah.
Or until I can manage to get someone to buy me something new.
Can you explain how different scooter wheel sizes affect handling and performance for various types of tricks to newer or beginner riders? So the focus is technical understanding of of wheels and their effect on trick execution.
Oh, dude, I've actually thought about this a lot. So I found something out like a few months ago, right?
Yep.
I was riding 110s before I got 115s, and I used to notice that when I was in fakie, I couldn't turn because my deck would scrape, and then I got 115s, and I don't deck scrape anymore. And I was like, oh wow, that's the first time that like wheel size has actually made a difference. Because I don't, I'm not a park rider. I can triple whip and stuff. I've never noticed a difference with like wheels affecting whips and stuff like that. I know it does for some people. For me, I don't notice it. But fakies, guys, if you're having trouble turning in fakie, get bigger wheels. It will help you so much. One more thing, actually, the like hardness of your wheels also is pretty important. I prefer wheels on the harder side because like if you're riding street a lot, you'll end up chunking soft wheels, and it's not fun. So if you guys are finding
facts.
you're
I'm running
like
88A and they're
chunking
the
the wheels,
best.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm doing the same. And man, they feel so good. Like you feel a bit more impact, but like, whatever. That's what your legs are for.
What materials do you believe have the best combination of durability and weight for trick scooter decks and bars, and what do you ride on your scooter? The focus is material science and performance.
I'm a big proponent of steel bars, so I would say I recommend to everyone to ride steel bars. I don't really fuck with aluminium for
Have you
bars.
rode
I've had bad
titanium bars?
experiences. Titanium bars are stupid, bro. I hate them.
Yeah,
I don't see the point in titanium bars. I mean, like for park riders, I guess, but I don't know. I don't like it. It feels like there's nothing in your hands,
yeah.
I find it like very confusing, I would say. Like I don't really know what's going on, but obviously I'm used to my steel bars.
Those first 7 questions were technical and product knowledge based questions.
Mm,
All
apologies
right,
for not knowing much, but
that's all
try my
right.
best.
The next question, a lot of questions. Sorry, I'm just reading as I'm
Yeah,
talking.
no stress, bro.
The next lot of questions are about skills and performance, Nate. All right.
Yeah,
All right,
shoot,
I'm
bro.
going to start with the next one right now. What's the hardest trick you've ever landed successfully, and what was the process behind learning it? And the
It's
focus is
hard to
personal
like
skill, learning process, and perseverance.
it's hard to like pinpoint an exact one, but like the one that immediately stood out to me was on a down ledge. I did backflip downhill fakie. That was pretty scary because all I could think about when I was trying that trick was, oh, am I gonna like land it and twist my ankle, or am I gonna land it and just like on my back wheel and just cark it onto my head? So I just like took it slow. Some tricks, you can kind of just like send it. Some you have to really like take the time to actually see every possibility of what can happen. And I think that's important because sometimes it's not worth it to just send it. You're gonna hurt yourself and it's just gonna end the session.
Yeah.
So I just like take it one step at a time. Do a backflip fakie, chuck the heel a few times, but don't actually jump near it. Put one foot on a few times, and then eventually I got one, and I just put both feet on, and it was good,
Yep.
and I was happy. Like it felt really cool because it was scary, and it was a big drop as well. It was like off a 4 stair,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Brilliant.
it was a good process. I was very happy and kind of surprised that I ended up landing that. It took me like a good 40 minutes.
Bit of success for the
Yeah,
day.
exactly. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
It made
dude.
me feel quite good.
How do you ensure you're performing scooter tricks safely, especially higher risk stunts? And safety measures do you take, if any? So the focus is safety awareness and risk management. So this can play into what you were just talking about with the backlip downhill to fakie.
Yeah, baby steps, man. That's what I always say to everyone. You don't need to like jump straight into it. There's always a way to like figure it out. Like, half do it or like, do an easier trick first to get warmed up on it. And I
Yeah.
always also make sure I know exactly how I'm going to bail in every like, you know, situation, I guess. Like if I'm doing a trick on a rail, I know if I need to bail out going backwards, or if I'm in this position, I'll go sideways. And that, if you know how to bail, you're pretty much going to be safe no matter what. It's when you stop paying attention is when you actually hurt yourself. and I never stop paying attention because I know that it's not worth it, you know.
This one's a good question. As your friend
Yeah.
Nate, and I've been riding with you. This
Oh
one's a
hell
good
yeah.
one for you, bro. All right.
Yeah,
What's
I'm
your
keen, bro.
method for overcoming mental barriers when trying to land difficult tricks, and how do you psych yourself up before a trick? So the focus, mental toughness, focus, and performance psychology. See, this is a good one for you, Nate.
Okay, it depends on what trick I'm doing, but usually there's my mate Will, right? He learns tricks so easily and so fast. So I go in my head, I'm like, would Will be able to do this first try? And if I'm like, yeah, probably, I'm like, just fucking do it then. I don't know. I'm kind of like in competition with that kid. He always learns shit I want, and then I learn something he wants, and it just kind of goes back and forth, and that kind of like gets me hyped up to learn something that I've been wanting to try, or I was a little bit too scared to get. And
Hell yeah,
then
dude.
if it's not something that I think he could do, I usually either think about my girlfriend because I like showing her my tricks, or I don't know, I just like chuck my headphones in, I find a good song, and then you know it's usually a song that I've listened to like so many times that I know where all the beat drops are, so I'll just like time it perfectly, and that usually gets me to actually do it. Like
Yep.
I can give you an example that there was like an 8 stair tani, you know what I'm talking about, but
Yeah.
it's a scary down rail, and the only way I managed to actually do that was I was listening to the song "Work" by Migos, I think it was, and that got me hyped up right at the start. There's like a 15-second like building up, and then it like actually the song starts, and I landed it right on that.
So you use the build up
And
to G yourself up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, bro. I always do that. Like it, I would honestly recommend it out there if you guys are watching and need something to hype you up. Find a song that you know has a bit of a build up. Just visualize it in your head while it's building up, and then just go and do it.
What is the most common mistake beginners make when attempting their first tricks on a scooter, and how do you advise correcting it? So, coaching ability and common beginner errors is the focus.
I would say the most like one of the most common mistakes I see is people like overestimating what they can do, you know? I started off humble beginnings. It took me ages to learn things, you know? It's not a rush. Progress starts off slow, and I think more younger people especially need to realize you're not going to go to the skate park and start doing kicklesses and bries on your first day. You got to learn your first tail whip, you know? If that takes you 3 months, so be it. You know, everyone's different. I don't really have any specific, you know, like tips for that kind of shit. Because I always say you got to learn that shit yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to have any individual style. But you just got to like, focus on one thing. If you want to learn a tail whip, keep trying that until you learn it, and then move on to something else.
All right,
Yeah.
brilliant. How do you see trick scootering evolving in the next 5 years, and are there any trends or innovations that you think will shape the sport, and what would you like to see? So the focus is vision for the future and industry knowledge.
I think that like street riding is definitely going to overtake park riding at some point, if it already hasn't. Especially with all the like fleets that companies are starting to make that are street orientated. I think more kids are going to pick that up as their first, like, you know, intro into scootering, especially with like YouTubers as well. I think there's a lot of street YouTubers out there. Or maybe I
Yep.
just don't get recommended park YouTubers, but I think it's definitely going to be more like skating, where most people are kind of wanting to hit ledges and, you know, do tricks around the ledges and like rails and stuff. And I do hope
Yep.
that happens. As far as like trick trends, I think like tricking into rails and down rails is definitely becoming more of a thing. Because
Yep.
when I watch older video paths, it's like it's more about what you're doing out and not in, whereas now it's more about in and like in between out. It's like the more tricks you can do before you end the clip, the better. And I think that's definitely going to stay the norm. Like, double throw bars into Predator and stuff like that. That Leonard guy, I don't remember what his last name is, but I think he rides for Ethic. I like that guy. He's like kind of like the embodiment of what I'm saying.
Well, I guess I'll close this out. Thanks for
Apologies, guys. I wish I had more time. I'm a busy
That's
man,
all right. That's all
unfortunately.
right.
Hey, we can do it. I'll join the pod again soon, and we can watch some video parts I've
Yeah,
recommended.
we'll get you in for an edit episode or something, mate. Oh yeah. What I
Yeah.
was gonna say, thanks for being on the pod, Nate. Episode
Thanks
1
for
and
having me,
2.
guys. I've loved it.
No problem, man. We appreciated having you on here. I had fun both episodes, and
Me too, man.
I hope to ride with you in the future, Nate. You know we'll get a
Yeah, bro.
session
We
in.
will. We will. 100%.
Oh
When you're
yeah.
not sick, eh?
I always
Thanks
love being
Tyler as
around
well.
your
I know you've been a bit silent, but
I love being around your presence as well. I just wanted
thank
to
you,
let
bro. Me too.
Quill take the floor since I took the floor on the first one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to be fair for everybody. I'm happy with
Everyone that's
both
watching.
parts. I'm glad we got to get the second part out.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe we'll have you on for a third part and do some like personal.
Yeah, I
like-
reckon that's a good idea because I think there's more things I can definitely talk about. I got some other things I was gonna bring up but didn't have time to, you know.
So we'll do a part 3.
We'll do like a
Yeah,
part 3,
let's do it, man.
and we'll do questions from both me and Quill, and
Yeah, and then we can watch some parts.
Yeah, cool. All
like,
right,
I'd like to
I
get
got some-
into the personal nitty gritty, like not drama stuff,
Yeah.
but like like who are you growing up, all that stuff.
Yeah, okay, I like that. Well, stay tuned, guys. If you're watching, make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss that.
This guy's a professional.
I know what I'm talking about, lads. I know.
Did you want to link? Well, it'll be in the description, but did you want to shout out your YouTube or your Instagram as well?
Yeah, guys. Nathaniel__Sacco on pretty much everywhere. I'd appreciate if you gave me a follow, but just go and watch it if you don't.
Chuck
It's
the
worth a
ladder
watch.
like. Chuck the ladder like.
Yeah,
bro,
man.
support him.
New
He's
video.
a good rider from Melbourne. He's my good friend.
I see you guys on YouTube. Make sure you like the video, and I'll see you in the next one, lads. Have a good day and evening, or till next time, lads.
Later, bro.
Peace.
Peace.